Joining us now on BYU Sports Nation, making his show debut, is the new receivers coach at BYU, Ben Cahoon, CFL Hall of Fame receiver. Coach, I'm not even sure you've had time to pick out an office, so thanks for joining us in a tight window.
Hey, you're welcome, and you're right. I have not picked out an office. The football floor is just totally vacant. Everybody's out on the road, so it's kind of cool, though. We're out getting it done, recruiting, and, communicating via text and phone calls and trying to throw together a great recruiting class.
Now, speaking of the recruiting effort happening right now, Mike Empey told us last week on the show that about 20 minutes after he was officially announced as the O-line coach, he was in a recruit's living room. Were you able to break that mark?
No, didn't break it. Same day. It was definitely the same day, but I can't beat that one.
Coach, has this whirlwind been, what has this whirlwind been like for you, being hired, and then now, soon after you're out on the road, out in the streets, and these kids' homes recruited? How has that been like?
It's been amazing. It's awesome. Thankfully, the job that I was doing previously, they were very understanding and was able to make kind of a quick transition. That transition's still ongoing. Frankly, I'm going to go do some work for a couple hours this afternoon back with my old job. But it's amazing. And the whole hiring process was just brutally slow. So you're just itching to get going. And so once you get the green light, it's just amazing to just be doing the work that you want to do.
Ben Cahoon, BYU receivers coach, with us on BYU Sports Nation. When did coming back to Provo and to BYU again become a possibility for you?
Good one. Well, as soon as Bronco announced that he was leaving, the interest, peaked, and and I started reaching out and contacting several people. So when I was coaching it before 3 years ago and left, then some of the guys I had recruited and I talked to, for some reason, I kind of hinted on with some departing words to them that, you never know. 3 years is a long time. These guys were going on missions. You never know what would happen. And in the back of my mind, I always hoped and thought there might be a chance, even though that was probably unwise and just overly optimistic. But it's kind of cool. And, to see how things have worked out, and I feel very blessed and fortunate.
Coach, how has your coaching philosophy changed in the last few years?
You know what? Thanks for asking that question. I've had a lot of time, obviously, to reflect and to think about how things were going, at BYU and how I would do them differently. And I think we did some good things a couple years ago, and we were making good progress, and the receivers were kind of a bright spot on a struggling team. But I will do things differently. There will be a sense of urgency. There'll be more energy and passion, and there'll be a higher standard that I'm excited to begin, that work.
A lot of people are understandably excited about the whole coaching staff because of the BYU ties, and with the Heisman Trophy winner Ty Detmer back as the offensive coordinator and you now working closely with him. What have your conversations with Ty been like in terms of what BYU wants to accomplish offensively?
Well, we haven't had time to get into too much detail with that, but our goals are the same. We want to score points and win games, and Ty's got a vast background that he will draw from, and we'll be able to, I'm confident we'll be able to throw a scheme together and an offensive plan and package together that will be able to do that. Move the chains, score points, take advantage of what a defense will give us and mismatches. And our philosophies are very similar as far as using formations and motions to help our guys out, and then we're very dedicated to the fundamentals and the techniques of each position. We're going to have individual position time where we work on specific things that are going to help out on the field.
Coach, how much do you know about the receivers returning next year, and what do you think about the players?
Not enough. I've got to study film. I got to get to know them and meet with them, and we'll do that as soon as recruiting calms down a little bit. But I know we've got some playmakers, and we've got great athletes. We've got some speed, and I'm excited for the guys we've got currently, but also some of the guys that we've got coming in. But as far as specifics, I probably am not familiar enough to really comment on that. I want to see us battle for the ball. I want to see us go up and be more physical, with our releases, and I want to see us use better technique, getting in and out of our breaks and get separation. So that's what I'm excited about. I know we've got the guys that can do it, and we're just going to emphasize it maybe a little bit more.
Now, are you in a position, Coach, where you could go, instead of just saying, hey, do this, like you could go on the field and like show them, I want you to do this because I was good at it?
I've always thought that was kind of goofy when coaches did that. I mean, I'm not Uncle Rico. I'm not going to go out there, But I hope that I can explain to them. There'll be a time to show, but I'm not going to go out and run routes. But just as far as getting a certain position and demonstrating that, I'm happy to do that. But I'm not going to go out and try to go do one-on-ones with these guys.
Coach, I'll do some one-on-ones with you, Coach.
The confidence of the DBs is probably too fragile to do that.
Oh, see, I'd come out there, Coach. You know what they used to tell us, the DBs, right? They say you got to let them win. For that same reason. They say, look, put one hand on them, but don't put two. You could bat the ball down, but don't get an interception. You got to get these guys to get some confidence. So, I definitely understand.
Oh,
They're probably saying the same thing for you guys. But Coach, something that this happens when you have DBs and receivers. Coach, something that stood out to me when I asked you about just the guys that are coming back, and you said there's a lot of talented guys within this group. And I think just overall, there has been a huge difference in talent over the past few years. Can you speak to the increase in just talent and skill level from when you were on the coaching staff compared to the guys that are on this team now?
Really, I can't. Sorry. I haven't looked at them closely enough. A lot of those guys, were there when I was coaching or I helped recruit. And then a couple of them have come in the last couple of years. But I think we're athletic. I think we've got some good speed, and we just need to hone it and make it functional, and then do those things that I mentioned as far as being more physical, getting a little stronger, battling for the ball, coming back for the ball, and get more separation at the break point. I think that's our job is going to be to make the quarterback's life easier. And the best thing we can do is know our assignments, get lined up, and then get open. And so that's going to be the work.
Somewhere Tanner Mangum and Taysom Hill just got really excited about what you just said, making their job easier.
Right.
Well, I mean it. And that was instilled in me early on, back with Norm Chow, and it used to drive me crazy because everything was always a receiver's fault. The quarterback could make a crappy throw, and it was my fault. And in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, "You're full of it, Coach. That was just, why do you never criticize your quarterback?" But there was a reason for it. They just needed confidence, and everybody else. It was everybody else's job to help the quarterback. So I know where that comes from, and I know the value of that, and that's how we're going to approach it. They've got the toughest job on the field, bar none, and we got to make it easier for them.
Ben, great to have you on the show, man. Welcome back to BYU. We'll do it again soon.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, guys. You guys do a great job.
Thanks
Good to
so
talk to
much.
you.
Ben Cahoon on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, your values, your timeline, your financial future.